the billionaire class should be afraid of the power of labor and everyday workers across the country.
Woo, woo. Did they all have Molotov cocktails and rifles like Ilhan Omar and her friends? Because these people, can I just say, well, on a very good Friday to you, and welcome back. We continue to be at 888-630-9625. Womp, 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 womp. The Democrat Party is just having a voter registration card that says you're a Democrat is like, it's like carrying a card saying that you're mentally ill. We had in the last hour talking to our friend Peter, calling from Houston, Texas, running for Congress, and he's unfamiliar with concepts of truth. He thinks that there are two different versions of truth, that I have one version of truth, and he has another version of truth. But the reality, of course, is that truth is not subjective. Deconstructionism is subjective, and relativism is subjective, but truth is truth. And that's a problem that the left has. I'm not that subjective. I'm not that confused. And my version of truth is not swayed by what I see in the media, certainly not on MSDNC. Isn't that officially now MS-13 DNC? I believe it is. Remarkable things, but truth is not relative. Truth is ground truth, and that is what we aspire to here and what we achieve in virtually every instance. But when you're a lefty, everything is very, very different. Very different, I am telling you. The new jobs report is out today for last month, 177,000 new jobs, which is better than the projected numbers that all the experts had put out. So very good jobs numbers today from President Trump. The Democrats going to have to go firebomb something in response. And I've got President Trump for you at University of Alabama commencement speech yesterday. Good stuff from President Trump. Absolutely wonderful. But I want to get to something else first, and that is Democrat Party hero. Democrat Party hero. Which one? Luigi Mangione, who gunned down a father of two on the sidewalks of New York and became an instant hero to the Democrat Party? No. This is a criminal wife-beating gang member from El Salvador, a member of MS-13, with the tattoos all over his knuckles to prove it. Kilmar. He goes by Kilmar. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, and boy, they love Kilmar Abrego Garcia. They want to date him almost as much as they want to date Luigi Mangione because they're the left. They love murder. Now, it turns out that Kilmar Abrego Garcia, we knew about this already. He was pulled over in Tennessee some time ago, and the police pulled him over. They discovered that he had 8 other people in his vehicle. And we learned only long after the fact that the vehicle he was driving was owned, and he's asked by the police, because we just got the Bodycam video from the police. He was asked by the police, this your vehicle? No, it's my boss's vehicle. We later found out that his boss had been convicted of human smuggling, of human trafficking, and it looks like Abrego Garcia, the hero of the Democrat Party, was also engaging in human trafficking before he got home to beat the bloody hell out of his baby mama, who he then married inside of a prison with bulletproof glass between them. And then he beat the hell out of her again, and she got restraining orders, protective orders against him twice, and remarkable stuff. But I have the audio for you. Here's the New York Post has the story, and the Washington Post does not because it's filthy birdcage liner, but it's not a newspaper. Deported alleged MS-13 gangbanger Kilmar Abrego Garcia was driving convicted smuggler's car during Tennessee traffic stop. And here's a picture of him here with human trafficking. And the Democrats say, human trafficking? We love human trafficking. So they love Kilmar Abrego Garcia. And MS-13, we love MS-13, so they love Kilmar Abrego Garcia. They love murdering CEOs, so they love Luigi Mangione. Now, the New York Post writing, deported alleged MS-13 gangbanger Kilmar Abrego Garcia was driving a convicted human smuggler's car when he was stopped by cops while transporting a group of men on a Tennessee highway in 2022. The Department of Homeland Security confirmed on Wednesday. Abrego Garcia, 29 years old, was pulled over by a Tennessee state trooper in 2022 for speeding. But when the cops stumbled upon the Salvadoran illegal migrant with 8 others and no luggage amid their days-long trip from Texas to Maryland, and then he said he was something about going to, what he doesn't know how to call it, St. Louis, Missouri, so like, what is it, San Luis or something? San Luis. And no problem. Abrego Garcia, 29, he was speeding, and there were 8 others in his car, no luggage, days-long trip from Texas to Maryland. The police officers suspected something was amiss. That's their job. They're good at that. According to an internal memo obtained by the New York Post last week, they're trying to cover the news the New York Times is not. At the time, the alleged gangbanger, who was deported by the Trump administration last month, claimed that the packed SUV was owned by his boss at his construction job, who turned out to be Jose Ramon Hernandez Reyes, an illegal migrant previously convicted of smuggling other human beings into the United States. Just the News first reported. My friend John Solomon's Just the News, wonderful stuff. Department of Homeland Security confirmed the validity of the report to the New York Post earlier this week. The responding officer wrote that he suspected it was a human trafficking incident. And that's in quotation marks because that is from the police report. But officers let Abrego Garcia go with a citation for driving with an expired license. So he's an illegal alien in the country illegally with an expired driver's license. And I talked about this the other day, and I got something wrong. He got the expired driver's license from Maryland, where they give illegal aliens driver's licenses in Maryland. And it was actually, he got the driver's license not under the current Democrat radical governor there, Wes Moore, but he got that driver's license as an illegal alien under now former Republican Governor Hogan. All right, and Governor Hogan pretended to be a Republican, and he's giving driver's licenses in Maryland to illegal aliens so that they can run people over and rob places and steal cars and then let their driver's license expire while they're engaging in human trafficking. But Hogan, no great shakes, that's for sure. So Abrego Garcia told the responding officer he was driving the black 2001 Chevy Suburban SUV to Temple Hills, Maryland, to bring people to perform construction work. He said construction work. Now, I want to play some of the audio for you because this is remarkable. And again, heroes of the Democrat Party. They're all criminals in the country illegally, gang members, covered with gang tattoos, and they're not the good guys. They're not sending their best, as President Trump once summed it up. So Kilmar Abrego Garcia pulled over, Tennessee, 2022. The police officer is looking. The windows are very blacked out. And the police officer is like, hey, your windows are awfully dark, aren't they? And this is a nighttime pullover on the highway in Tennessee. And it sounded kind of like this.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
Good, and you?
All right.
Everything good?
You got a bunch of people in here, don't you?
It's one for shit. Yes. Go back to work.
Gotcha. Where are you working at?
Where?
Where?
San Luis, Missouri.
San
Missouri?
Luis.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I'm from to Maryland.
San Luis, Missouri. I think he's trying to say St. Louis. Is he trying to say St. Louis, Missouri? Is Joe Louis Joe Louise? I guess he is. That's pretty good. Yeah, we're going to. But where you coming from? Where are you going to? San Luis, Missouri. But that's not anywhere near where you are in Tennessee. You're coming from Texas. You're going to Maryland. Missouri is all the way over there. The city that is known as St. Louis and not San Luis is in the other direction. So Maybe you should buy one of those map books so that you know where you are. So the police officer asks for his ID, and he explains, well, I've got my suspended driver's license from Maryland that Republican Governor Hogan gave me.
You got all your info?
I see the problem with my license right now is expired, right?
It's suspended?
Suspended because I have my permanent employment.
He said
So,
expired.
Like 2 years
Expired.
experience, so I need. So right now I'm waiting the paper for migration. I go to the NBA.
Aren't we all? Well, I'm waiting for my paper for immigration. I think he said expire. It's expire. Trying to say expired, but no English very good. And the police officer says, what? Suspended? And then he's, yeah, sure, what the hell? Suspended. Yeah, it's not expired. It's suspended, whatever. He doesn't know the difference. He has no idea. He's from a beep-hole country called El Salvador, where he got his gang tattoos on his knuckles early on. So, and then he says, well, you got this SUV. It's packed full of people. Where are these people from? And it's like, did you put an extra row of seats in here to pack in more illegal aliens for human trafficking and all this stuff? And whose vehicle is this?
So where do y'all live at?
Where I live? I live in Maryland.
Maryland?
Yeah, Oxon.
Whose vehicle is it?
Oxon?
Excuse me?
Whose car is it?
It's to my boss.
Your boss?
My boss, yeah.
Where's he live? Where's your boss live?
My boss right now is staying in Maryland, but he lives in Texas, in Houston, Texas.
They left from Houston, Texas, but his boss lives in Maryland. And again, his boss, we later learned, but the police didn't learn at this point, we later learned that his alleged boss, the alleged owner of the alleged vehicle, is a guy who had been busted for human trafficking, Jose Ramon Hernandez Reyes, an illegal alien also convicted of smuggling human beings into the United States. But the Democrats are like, oh, that's just, come on, date my daughter, move into my house, steal my car, honestly. And when you're done, would you mind mowing my lawn? Because my lawn needs a little mowing. They like to have things mowed. They like mowing things. Isn't that amazing? So then the police officer, he's looking, and he's got his flashlight. It's at night again. The windows are very blacked out, very, very blacked out. And he's looking, everybody's very silent in the back, shh, because they know they're all illegal and it's a crime. But he doesn't know if the police officer is a Democrat. So all these people, it's like, wait, did you put an extra row of seats in this vehicle?
How many rows have you got in here? 4?
Where?
4 seats? 4 rows of seats?
Yeah, it's three seats.
No, 4.
Yeah, with it. Yeah.
Did y'all put an extra one in?
Huh?
Did y'all put another one in?
No.
Did it come like this?
Use the truck.
I've never seen one with that many seats in it. That's why I was asking if you put an extra one in.
No, it's the same. Like this.
Yeah, fortunately, most people from Salvador are little tiny people, so they can stand on the seats with their little hands up in the air like that. Then a second trooper comes up, and the two troopers are conferring, and one of them said, guy's got a pocket full of money. What does he have? $1,400 cash or something like that. And the other police officer says, it looks like he's hauling these people for money, and nobody speaking English, and nobody have the luggage.
You know what you got here, right?
No.
He's hauling these people for money, is what he's doing. But there's 8 people in there.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know that. They put an extra row of seats in there.
Yeah. So he's getting paid to haul these people, probably to Maryland, I would say.
Yeah, and that's human trafficking and wife beating and gang membership and the tattoos and illegal alien and the Democrats want to run him for the House of Representatives. Speaking of which, we got to get to Ilhan Omar. She is more charming than ever. We've got an update on her charming jihadi, black scorpions crawling over her sun-bleached bones in the deserts of Somalia. The other possible outcome in her life. But, yeah, wait till you hear what she did yesterday. Great stuff. You know that this country was built on hard work and on grit. And whether you're standing long hours every day, running all over the place, chasing the kids, just doing your part to keep the world turning on its axis, you shouldn't have to deal with fatigue every day and discomfort in your feet and ankles and knees. And that is where G-Defy shoes come in. G-Defy shoes are built with patented, thank you very much, VersaShock technology. The Federal Trade Commission has authorized G-Defy to tell you and all of us that these shoes help to relieve minor occasional pain associated with walking and running and standing for prolonged periods of time. G-Defy shoes help to absorb harmful shock. They align your body properly, improve your biomechanics, and return energy with every step you take. My best girl and I, we each have 2 pairs of G-Defy shoes that they sent along to us. They're wonderful. Right now, you can get 30% off your order of $120 or more by texting Chris to 91888. Or you can go to Al Gore's Amazing Internet to gdefy.com. Use the code Chris to save 30%. With G-Defy's 60-day risk-free trial, you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Message and data rates apply. Yeah. So there he is. Again, the Democrats, they shoot CEOs, they blow up Tesla dealerships, they're engaged in human trafficking, wife-beating, gangsterism, and the Democrats, we need more of that. We need more of that. That's your Democrat Party. Chris here with a list of things that none of us should trust. The Washington Post, the New York Times, anything on CNN. Here's a list of things that I do trust. The Washington Times. Support real journalism for just $1 a week at washingtontimes.com/Chris. Got another guy vandalizing a Tesla, was confronted by the Tesla owner, and he proved to be a liberal. Got that coming up for you. Let's go to Alberto, calling from Atlanta, Georgia. Alberto, you're on the Chris Plante Show. Alberto. Come on, buddy. Alberto. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, Alberto. Come on, I want to talk to him. He says, I remind my liberal friends that if they lived in a third world country, they'd realize that, all Americans are privileged. That's what Alberto wanted to say. He talked to Jasmine, and Alberto wanted to talk, but then Alberto went away on us. Alberto, I'm so sad. I wanted to go in there and talk to you and let you tell your story, but can't do that now. And I don't want to give anyone else a short shrift here. I see a lot of great callers on the line with great points to make. Alberto, I was there for you, and you let me down. Yeah, we've got another one. The Democrat Party advocates shoplifting and looting and vandalizing Teslas and firebombing and shooting. And then when a liberal judge gets a Democrat who firebombed, you see this story, the guy that firebombed the Teslas, 2 of them $100,000 Molotov cocktails, and the Democrat judge let him walk free. You know why? Did you see why? Because he's got ADHD and he's a tranny. All right, more video of another Democrat attacking a Tesla vehicle because the Democrat Party is a violent organization and they're insane. And the guy he's confronted. The Tesla owner confronting the wanker is so polite. He's so incredibly polite. It's almost amazing. But that's a conservative thing. And then we've got Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, who is a jihadi. She should be carrying an AK-47 everywhere she goes. But before we get to that good stuff, let's go to we have George calling from Chicago, who says that he has right-wing media, examples of right-wing media saying things that are not true. George from Chicago, you're on the Chris Plante Show.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, George.
I mean, the thing is that you keep blaming Democrats as if they're the only ones that either exaggerate or lie, when in reality it's both sides, especially right-wing media.
Especially
actually both. I would say 50-50. But when you say stuff like media, right-wing media, you are part of the media, aren't you not?
I'm part of the media. Yes, I'm part of the media.
Yeah, Fox News is part of the media, too.
It is.
Newsmax is part of the media.
True.
But you always make it seem as the media is only left wing.
Well, we're the
Maybe
3%. Well, we're the 3%.
Maybe in the 80s.
No, maybe in the lot more recently than that. First of all, the total information dominance was secured by the left a long time ago, and now you're right with the emergence of Fox News and now Newsmax and talk radio with Rush Limbaugh. Well, yeah, sure, of course.
Internet, radio, it's all balanced now. It's
well,
not 1985, it's 2020.
That's not correct, because the overwhelming, let's look at the White House press corps. The overwhelming majority of the media is definitely still left-leaning at a bare minimum. Look at what 60 Minutes is going through at CBS News right now. And
that's one channel.
And then there's ABC. Wait, don't just talk over me the whole time. And then, of course, we had Terry Moran interviewing President Trump a couple of days ago, where he's like, "Oh, well, that's been debunked. The tattoos on MS-13 boy's hand and everything that Terry Moran said was wrong." And he's interviewing the President of the United States, and he's smugly smirking the entire time he's doing it. And then, late night TV picks it up. The Daily Show picked it up on the Comedy Channel, and they misrepresented everything. And now it's, media, there's the news media, and then there's the broader media, right, George?
But they're all the same channels.
Well,
It's
wait.
ABC,
Now, you're not
NBC,
listening to me.
CBS.
You're not listening to me. There's the news media. So you have ABC News, which their lead guy is George Stephanopoulos, who is, of course, for 8 years, a Clinton administration White House official, right? And then you switch over to CNN and you got your Democrat Capitol Hill staffer, Jake Tapper, and then you go to who's the other guy in CNN who was in the Obama administration. There, it goes on and on and on. But you can say there's Fox News and Newsmax. There is. But I could go on NPR and PBS and CBS, ABC, NBC, MSNBC, CNN. The list goes on with the Washington Post, the New York Times, late night TV from Jimmy this and Jimmy that, who are all doing left-wing propaganda. And
you're saying the same channels over and over. You're claiming the
I'm not saying that. Well, I mean, I've mentioned a couple of different people on CNN because they're former Capitol Hill staffers. Chunk Todd on NBC and MSNBC, now MS-13 NBC, another former Democrat Senate campaign staffer. They're all over the place in the so-called media. And I also am talking about Time Magazine and the New York Times and the Washington Post. And then, when you go to late night TV and Comedy Central, and they're taking their stuff from ABC News and Terry Moran and trying to turn it into comedic shtick, usually not doing a very good job. It's not, and it's Saturday Night Live.
It's comedy. Chris, it's comedy.
It's propaganda.
Well.
You have to recognize that the message is being hammered home day and night, day after day, year after year. People are being raised on this stuff, weaned on this stuff, and they, the left, owns the overwhelming. You say it's comedy, yeah, it's left-wing comedy. Whereas Bill Maher is paid millions and millions of dollars by HBO to do his left-wing propaganda show. Oh, he met with Trump. So what? He's almost crucified for it. You can't. There is not a 50-50 balance. You wouldn't say. Well, you did actually say there's a 50-50 balance. There isn't. You now know. Listening to me for a minute, you now recognize that's not true.
Nah, I think it's balanced, especially now with the podcast, the Newsmax, all these different channels, all these people like Pangino, your show that you have, Newsmax, all these different shows, they do balance everything out.
Well, I've got to say,
people tend to think ABC, CBS, that's three channels. Three. Yes,
they have and MSNBC and CNN and Comedy Central and late night comedy, and you say it's the same network.
Those are comedy channels. They're not news networks.
They're propaganda. Shall I start playing the propaganda they do, the Democrat propaganda that they put on Comedy Central and on Saturday Night? You say, it's the same network. It's not the news division. Although The View is actually the news division
No one watches The View. No one watches The View. Not one person I know watches The View. You guys watch it more because you guys make fun of it more, meaning the audience is the right because they want to make fun of it.
Honestly,
I don't watch.
Truthfully, I just get clips. I just get clips from them from Al Gore's amazing internet. Peace be upon him. Now, you wanna say that there's an equal balance, but it's not even close. Not even close. Now, it sounds like you listen to different media. You listen to this radio show, and that's good, and you call in.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I respect your opinion, and you're certainly entitled to your opinion, no matter how wrong you may be. That's okay. This is America, and I'll defend your right to be wrong. But there is no balance. You bet. Of course, we're all Americans here. But there is no balance.
Agree to disagree. We'll agree to disagree.
Well, that's right. And look, there's a great old American. There's a great old American axiom. I may disagree with what you have to say, but I will fight to the death for your right to say it.
I like that. Can I say one last thing?
Of course.
Just kind of going off what you said. I did watch a clip of that Ted, whatever that reporter's name is, with Trump. But
Terry Moran.
One or two things happened there. Either A, he has no idea what Photoshop is, or two, he was lying. Because he kept saying the knuckles.
Right.
Those tattoos are on the fingers, not the knuckles. That Photoshop was there to represent what these so-called symbols represented.
That's right.
But Trump that reporter actually gave him a huge break. Because if it were somebody else, they would have said, listen, show me the picture and point at exactly what you're talking about.
That's right.
He would have pointed out to the Photoshop. He would have, because he said it multiple times. He said, it says very clearly MS-13. No, it did not. The Photoshop said MS-13. The other stuff were symbols, not letters and not numbers. They were symbols. They were like a marijuana plant or something.
That's right.
I saw
a marijuana leaf on the index finger, and you could say it's on the knuckle or the finger. The index, it's a marijuana leaf. That's for M. Next to that, a smiley face. That's for S.
That's not clear. That's not clear for a normal, average American.
That's right.
Know what that
no,
is.
that's right. That's right. But that's why the gang expert came in and wrote on the photograph, this is the M, this is the S, this is the 1, this is the 3. And that was what President Trump was referring to. And Terry Moran...
He kept saying it was real. He said it was real. He said he kept repeating it was a tattoo. It was not a tattoo.
Well,
it was a Photoshop to depict what those symbols meant.
Well, decoding the tattoos, but there are also the tattoos on there, right? Yeah.
Well, no, because he kept insisting that those were again. It's either one or
now
two
you're
things.
just doing semantics. Listen, George, there are tattoos. You keep talking over me, but there are tattoos on his knuckles or his fingers. Either way you want to describe it, there are tattoos, right?
Yes.
Right. And then a gang expert decoded those tattoos, made a note on the photo, and that's why he's like, oh, it's photoshopped, it's fake. And he was either lying or stupid. You're correct about that, George. You cracked the code on that. There's no doubt about it. And Terry Moran was incredibly smug and self-satisfied about being wrong, about being ignorant. And as I like to point out, George, they don't follow the news. They don't know what's in the news. You can quiz them all day long on the news of the day, and they have no idea what's going on in the news. You know more.
For everybody, he could have attacked him and said, "Show me the picture," and he would have said, "Point exactly what you're talking about," and he would have made Trump look like an idiot. But he didn't. He tried to get into the next.
No, he wouldn't have.
He would have. He would have said, "Point at it," and he didn't. He kept trying to change the subject.
Well, listen,
he did. Trump kept pushing him. Trump opened the door for him, and he didn't even walk in.
No, I got to tell you, George. All right, we're gonna wrap it up now, George. But listen, if the photo, first of all, if Terry Moran were planning on making such an issue of that, he should have brought the photo that he's talking about, and then he could have demonstrated it. He could have challenged Trump. Secondly, ABC News could have shown the photo while they were going on and on about it, and their ignorant slut of an anchorman was being so incredibly, ridiculously ignorant and wrong and smug and arrogant at the same time, which is classic Washington media, and they didn't. So they didn't show it, and they didn't explain what he was trying to talk about. And I knew what he was talking about. It sounds, George, like you knew more about it than Terry Moran did. So maybe they should be paying you millions of dollars a year at ABC News to do their journalism for them, because they're not doing a very good job, and you're more well-informed than Terry Moran is. So there's that. George, it's been fun, but I've got too many other crazy Democrat stories to get to. So let's see. Which did we thanks, George. Have a fine Chicago day. on the great WLS, listening on the great WLS. But let's see, which one we want to go to? Oh, yeah, the Tesla boy. Here is this is and then we'll get Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. But this is fun. Tesla Cybertruck owner confronts vandal who came into the Tesla Cybertruck, expensive vehicle, and Democrat boy who's in his 50s, and you might think in a store that he's kind of normal, but you'd be wrong because he walked up to the Tesla vehicle with stickers, and the stickers have the F word on them because he hates Elon Musk, because the Democrat Party wants him to hate everybody because the death camps are coming, and they got to get everybody in position. So this guy, white guy in his 50s, comes up and puts these, F Elon Musk stickers on the vehicle as the owner of the vehicle is walking up, and he sees this liberal vandalizing his vehicle, and he followed the guy into a coffee shop that was right there, and he walked up to the liberal to say, hey, you just vandalized my truck, and he's like, no, I didn't. I just saw you do it. I have video of you doing it. And these cars make video of people walking up to them and vandalizing them. You obviously get your news from MSNBC. Otherwise, you'd know that if you watch Newsmax or you watch Fox News. You'd have seen all the videos from the Cybertrucks making video of the vandals who are all Democrats, and it sounded like this.
Hey, how you doing? Good. Yeah? You like putting stickers on cars?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't? Yeah, I got a video of you. You don't know?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's fascinating. I'm curious what your motive is here, because like I get in the car with my kids.
Look how reasonable.
Curse words people are putting on my car.
All right.
I got you on video.
I got you on video.
Twice.
St. Louis, Missouri.
Twice.
San Luis.
I don't have anything to say about it.
You should, man. At least defend your position.
I don't have anything to say about
Be a
it.
man. Have a debate with me.
Be a man.
You don't want to continue the conversation?
No.
But you started the conversation. Right?
Okay. Well, I don't have anything to say. I don't have
anything to say.
Okay.
And now the white guy's walking away with his back slung, his black nylon bag slung over his shoulder. And then this is the fun part. At the end of the video, they're standing out in the parking lot, and the white guy who put the stickers on, the F Elon Musk stickers on, is having a conversation with two police officers. And it's St. Louis, Missouri is the locator on this, and or the St. Louis area anyway. And the guy's like, I don't know. And he's in his 50s. He might be 60 years old. And he's a tall, kind of lean, white guy. Appears to be a Caucasian. You know how they are. And the police are talking to him. The police are smiling, and they're perfectly nice because they're not liberals. And the guy whose truck is vandalized just couldn't be nicer, couldn't be more reasonable. Kirkwood police are the police officers there. And they're just being nice and mellow. And the guy's going around putting F Elon Musk stickers on Teslas, and he's carrying them around in his bag because they're, Tardo boy over here, and just amazing. And when the owner couldn't be nicer, what, you don't want to have a discussion? You're vandalizing? I'm putting my kids in this car. What are you doing this for? He's like, I don't have anything to say. It's like Monty Python. He's the Democrat Party. Mental dwarfism is rampant. Amazing stuff. As Mother's Day rapidly approaches, I want to highlight an organization, a great organization that cares deeply for mothers, because Mother's Day is coming. The organization is Preborn. Preborn's network of clinics across the country offers love, they offer life, and they support pregnant mothers who are feeling pressure to make the ultimate choice. When a distressed mother comes to Preborn, she's offered love and a hug and a free ultrasound so that she can hear and see the precious life growing inside of her, the helpless little person, hoping that the young mother will choose life. This Mother's Day, you can help bring life to both a mother in need and an at-risk baby, a helpless little baby. One ultrasound is only $28. 5 ultrasounds are only $140, and every penny goes toward loving mothers and babies. And when you become a monthly sponsor, You're going to receive pictures and stories of the lives that you helped to save. To get involved, all you have to do is dial pound 250, and when prompted, you say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, and the keyword is baby, or you can go to Al Gore's Amazing Internet and visit preborn.com/plant. That's preborn.com/PLANTE. Save a life for Mother's Day. Isn't that nice? Wonderful. Yeah, so the nice police officers and this white guy, 60-year-old skinny white guy. So I don't want to talk about that. I have you on video. I wasn't even there. How do you bring me a small liar?
Be a man. Have a debate with me.
Ilhan Omar is a genocidal, Jew-hating jihadi from Somalia who married her brother. I'm not sure for how long they were doing the deed, but Ilhan Omar was on Capitol Hill yesterday, and a very nice young man with the Daily Caller saw the congresswoman and asked a question about Democrats visiting El Salvador to hang out with gang members. And Ilhan Omar, being the third world jihadi, anti-American, un-American person that she is, listen to this because it was Miles Morell doing a great job of being cool. On Capitol Hill, saw the congresswoman, got a camera, asked her a question, journalist, and she, being a third world disgrace to humanity, it went like this.
Congresswoman Omar, I'm Miles Morell with the Daily Caller News Foundation. Do you think more of your Democratic colleagues should be traveling to El Salvador to advocate on behalf of Rodrigo Garcia?
I think you should off. Yeah, that's
I'm sorry, what, Congresswoman?
off.
Who should?
You.
Why me?
We're not taking any questions right now, but here you go.
Yeah, thanks.
Kalakalaka Muhammad Jihad. Honestly, she should be expelled from Congress. Now, I mean, what if he responded in kind with similarly vile and vulgar language? Then she'd be the victim, of course. Of course, this is a woman that was saved by the United States of America. Her filthy, corrupt, apparently incestuous family, sister marrying brother, escaped Somalia, and had they not been saved by America, black scorpions would be crawling over her sun-bleached bones.